Joe. Welcome back. This is the ultimate love letter. Thank you for joining the conversation. The curveball that God most certainly will throw you some point in life. I want to speak to those that have a dream. And I know we all have dreams, but no, I want to speak to those that are actively pursuing their dreams. Those that have decided they are not going to settle for a mediocre life. If you have decided that you're going to live in your comfort zone and you're happy with the life that you've built and you don't want or need anything more, you can excuse yourself from this conversation. I am speaking to the relentless dreamers, the ones that wake up every day and say, I'm all in on my dream. This conversation is for you. I want to get one thing clear in preparation for what certainly will come if it hasn't come to you yet. God will throw you a curveball. And he actually promises to, doesn't he? Like he says, your dreams, he has given them to you. They are in his will. But what we see in our mind when we're thinking about how we're going to achieve our dreams and who is going to come with us and what we're going to do when we're at the top, and those details are out of our control. You heard the saying, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. No, God says this is your dream, and that's good, and that's according to his will. But the details, make no mistake, will be left up to him. And I am here to tell you they are not going to look like the blueprint that we have mapped out. Oh no, God is far too creative for that. You know, when we are thrown with the pivot, and I know this can be a stunning moment. Like it can stop you in your tracks when you think that you're in this create mode and you're building things and you see that you're getting closer to what you want to achieve, and you feel like you got your team and you got all the people in the right place, and you feel like this is it. This is the team that's going with you straight to the top. And then God stops you and asks you to leave certain members of that team, certain members in your life, certain relationships, certain partnerships, certain family members. Just know, even though as scary as it may seem, God knows better than us. And one thing is for certain, everyone is not going to come with us. Everyone cannot go. We talk about this often on the Ultimate Love Letter. Everyone cannot go where you are headed. And unfortunately, God is going to make it so you can't go unless you release all that he's asking you to release. You know, I've recently found myself in these very situations, which has prompted this conversation. I thought I knew exactly who I was bringing with me. But then you wake up one day and things have changed greatly. And you are met at a crossroads where it's like, do you stop right here because you are relentless? You are unwilling to let go. You think you know better. You think that you have what it takes to bring this weight with you to the top, when God is saying, no, this is as far as this goes. You must release this weight right here. You either let go or you cannot go. And, it's easier said than done when we talk about letting people go. And I certainly don't want to make light of it, because it's easy for us to say, oh, yeah, when I'm pursuing my dreams, when I get close to accomplishing everything that I've been working towards, I don't give a damn. I'll let everyone go. Okay, we say that. But when we're met in that place, in that very moment, where it's the people that you loved, the people that have served you up until this point, and you guys already have your roadmap forward, you already know what you're going to do, how you're going to celebrate when you get to the top. And then God says, wait a minute, wait here. You can go. They cannot. That's a moment where it is completely daunting, where you are completely knocked off your feet because you thought you had it all mapped out. You thought you knew the way forward. You thought you were so close, and that everybody that was surrounding you was going to be able to see you through to that finish line. Oh no. God doesn't work like that. What he's doing when he throws us curveballs is, well, for one, he's growing us. He's growing us so that he can prepare us for the promise. I know we can't see it. I know we think that, we're enlightened and we've grown enough and we've shed enough and we've lost enough and we know enough. But we've never been to that next level. We've never been on top of that mountain. How do you know that you are prepared? It may take that one partnership, that one great love. It may take the heartache and the lessons in releasing that love that will prepare you for the mountaintop. God knows better than we do. And then we got to ask ourselves two things. How bad do we want it? And how far are we willing to trust God? I ask you again, if you are listening to this convo, I am assuming you are in your bag daily on achieving your dreams. You have decided mediocre is beneath you and you're going for the gold. Well then, prepare for the pivot, because it's coming. The way to let go of things that is God asking us to release, those things that shock us, that we never thought we would have to let go of, the way we actually release it is by simply feeling the loss, feeling the energy, feeling the pain, and then making something else a priority every day. I find myself very much seated in this moment today in life. I'm no longer at a crossroads. I've turned left because that's where God guided. We can stay at a crossroads as long as we want. God's patient. He'll let you sit there. But what are we prolonging? The answer is we are prolonging everything we want. Holding on to things that we think can come with us will only stop us from going ourselves. I have a beautiful girlfriend who she was in a relationship where everybody around her can just see this relationship was not serving her at all. In fact, it was dragging her backwards. And now that's something to think about. Not only are you not moving forward, but because you are unwilling to let go of this weight of this relationship, then you are actually being torn down the levels. You are no longer even on the level you had ascended to. Now you are like 3 levels below. Not only were you unable to drag this partnership up with you a couple levels, but that relationship actually drug you down several levels. And that was actually exactly what it was for a girlfriend of mine. And I know many people can talk about this happening to them. When we're trying to bring everybody with us, not only will it not happen, but what will happen is we will begin to descend because our unwillingness to let go of the weight. We can't ascend, we will descend. And I saw in my friend's life, as she was just clinging to this relationship, it was like God was exploding parts of her life, and every explosion that seemed to happen, I'm not even kidding, every few weeks, the explosion was just bigger and bigger and louder and grander. And it was like, oh my gosh, how many upheavals do you must go through before you recognize you are meant to release this here? This relationship has run its course. It is hurting you profoundly. It is not excelling you. It is actually descending you. And because God always wants to get our attention, He will make the pain of holding on to these relationships more profound. They will hurt deeper. They will hurt longer. It will begin to affect our self-esteem, our self-worth. We will begin to believe not the best of ourselves. And it won't end. We will just wallow in the discomfort. And I know it that when we're in discomfort, usually once we wallow there and we haven't healed anything, we don't know anything else other than the discomfort. So we're comfortable within it. We're comfortable coming home and arguing with our loved one because that's all we've ever seen. That's all we ever know. We don't know anything else. But for the rest of us who have faced some wounds and who have healed some shit, then perhaps you can recognize the signs that are found within pain, misalignment, if you will, of relationships and situations that God is saying, this is as far as we go with that person by your side. We're going to wait right here until you muster up the courage to say goodbye now. And God is patient. He will wait. Take your time. But what do you want? Are you keeping your dreams on hold? As we're waiting, procrastinating, hoping things will get better, what the reality is, and you know it if you've been there, things will actually only get worse. Because again, God wants what He has for you. The dreams you got burning inside of you, they're burning for a reason. Those are the gifts you're meant to give the world. That burning desire, that passion, that thing that you want to do, that is what you're meant to do. But when you look around you, chances are everyone cannot come. And that's the math. So yeah, when that curveball comes, oof, it's quite shocking. I'll tell you, I thought I had it in the bag. I thought I knew who was going to win with me. I just knew it. I just knew it. I just knew it. I knew it. I knew it. You served God, I'm speaking to God now. God, you served up this person. They are a resource. They're serving my highest good. God, thank you. We're going to win together. And then God is like, not so fast. You are right. They served you up until this point. Time to say goodbye. They don't serve you beyond this point. And for me, as I've let go recently of a dear loved one, I've just been in meditation and something occurred to me. God spoke to me yesterday and he said, I'm thinking, in my head, I'm thinking, oh my God, what did I do wrong? Oh my God, what did they do wrong? Oh my God, how could I have repaired this? And then God like stopped me and was like, it wasn't you. It wasn't them. It was me. They were never meant to go all the way with you. And that was a little hard to hear, but actually way more encouraging because then I can release it, right? Like it's no one's fault. This is just alignment. This is just God's will. And all I want is God's will because I know what God is willing, it's coming in ease and not confusion. And I know that when God is involved, he speeds up the process. When I'm involved and I'm trying to figure things out and hold on to things and make things go my way, I'm slowing down the process. And that's what we often do, isn't it? It's like when God says, okay, you got to let that girl go. You can't take, this woman with you. What do we say? Oh no, God, don't worry. I got this. I can do it. I can take her. I'm going to get her on track. Don't worry. I got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Who are you talking to? The Most High? You're not talking to the Most High. You're fooling yourself. If God has already said, I'm not into it, it's not meant. That is the final say. It's not meant. It's far better to rip the Band-Aid off now, feel the pain, heal the pain because, oh God, there is pain. But the more we descend into that pain and then we begin to release the pain, then God picks us up so fast and it's like, okay, dusting yourself off, let's keep going. Now you have room to receive the next that will be in service for you. Now you can ascend to the next level. And when you ascend to a next level, let me tell you this, the souls on the next levels, they only get brighter. They only get more revering. They only get more loving. They are only meant to serve you deeper as you journey towards greatness. So what are you holding on to things that are less than? I know it hurts. Oh God, I know it hurts. But how bad do you want it? You want the greatest marriage of your life or the greatest relationship of your life? Well, then you're gonna have to let go of this mediocre relationship. You want the greatest career you've ever had? Okay, then stop accepting these mediocre 9-to-5s that are less than you. You want a best friend, you've never had a best friend, you're longing for that one friend. Okay, then let go of the friends that are just filling space. You're not aligned with them. You don't really enjoy the conversation. You don't really, doesn't set your soul on fire to hang. Let go of them. Then you make room for what is meant for you. Another way to say it is let go of what's not meant for you so you can ascend to the levels that are meant for you. And that is where your people will be. There's no other way. Prepare yourself now for the curveball that God guarantees he's going to throw. Oh, yeah. He's going to throw it. And perhaps it's going to be a shocker. It was for me. But once he throws that curveball, I'm going to encourage you to roll with it, because he's actually detouring you. I know it seems like a disruption, but he is actually guiding you to something better. I know he caught you off guard. You didn't see it coming, but God knows what's up on the road ahead. He is detouring you around that construction, around that pothole, around where rocks are falling. I know it's abrupt, but do you trust him? Leave whoever you must. Love them from afar, but go with God. All he wants to do is prosper you. All he wants to do is give you the greatest odyssey. He wants to build that character. He wants to prepare you for the mountaintop. Preparing you is got to come with some pain. That grows your character. That gives you a testimony. Why do you think all the greats have these profound testimonies that we just like marvel in awe? Because they all went through the toughest time and they had to let things go to achieve it. And now we're like so inspired by these conversations. Well, the only thing they did that perhaps we're not doing is they didn't stop. When they were met with that pivot, they pivoted. And they kept going, and now they got this grand testimony. Will you pivot when it's time to move? Trust me, God gonna make you move. He gonna ask you to. And if you don't move, he gonna make it painful where you gotta move. I mean, that's just the truth of it. That curveball is gonna look like unexpected events for certain. Because that's just how God works. He's strengthening you. You know where you're headed? You're headed to the top. Do you know the resilience and the growth and the stamina and the strength you gotta have to make it to the top, to the 1%? Are you kidding me? You think you're ready. We always think we're ready. But I really don't believe we're ready until we're hit with that huge curveball. Then perhaps we're ready. If we choose to go with it and not stay in our comfort zones. Reminder, God is only encouraging us to release control of things that are never meant for us to remain in control of. God is asking you, how much do you trust him? How far are you willing to go with him? Because he's headed to the mountaintop and he wants to take you, but he can't take everybody with you. You know, I said something yesterday. I said, you know what I feel intuitively it's going to take to become number one in your field, number one in your career, number one in anything you want to achieve? It's going to take a completely isolated solo walk with just you and God, where it feels like you are suspended above ground, where you can't even, like there's no footing underneath you. It just feels like 100% uncertain and almost like no foundation. And it's just you and it's just God. Intuitively, that's what it feels like it's going to take for you to be suspended in that moment, in the unknown. And we know that once we found ourselves in the unknown, not surrounded by friends or family or partners, but just you and God, then you can trust that is your foundation. And you can trust you have found yourself in the field of all possibilities. Yeah, that's what it feels like it's going to take, a complete solo walk. Because here's the thing, if you are just in the crowd, right? If you think that you are going to achieve greatness, that you're going to accomplish your dreams, if you think you're going to do that with all the friends you have around you today and they're all going to go, you're not separated. You're not being set apart. You're a part of the crowd. There's nothing spectacular about that. There's nothing different. There's no testimony there. You're surrounded by comfort. You're surrounded by the crowd. But when you have the balls enough to let go of everything God is asking you to let go of, chances are He's going to ask you to let go of a lot. And when you look around, you're going to be suspended and it's going to be just you and Him. And it's going to feel like no foundation underneath you. You got a chance at number one. And you may not fully grasp what I'm saying in this moment. Maybe you don't see it. Maybe you can't see it. Maybe you've never been there, but I'm explaining it the best I can. I can see it with my mind's eye and the feeling that I feel right now. I feel like I am suspended completely and it's just me and God. And God in that moment is telling me, this is exactly where I want you. I have you where I want you. No comfort zones. Completely in the unknown. And when it's unknown, anything can happen. So in closing, prepare yourself to pivot. It's coming. If you've made up your mind you're going to keep going, then let me be the first to tell you, a pivot is coming your way. God will most certainly throw a curveball. Be prepared. And in my opinion, get on with it and go with God. Thank you so much for joining me on this very special combo. Please consider sharing and yes, subscribing if you haven't done so yet. On YouTube, we are there. Thank you to our new subscribers. Just know if you have found us on YouTube or Spotify or Apple, iHeartRadio, wherever you're listening, if you have joined us in this combo or in any combos, just know I am praying for you. I am praying over you that God expands you, that He saturates you with peace, that He prepares you for the great pivot of your life. Because that is true. I'm no fortune teller, but I can tell you this. He gonna make you move. Oh yes, He will. Thank you again for being here. Until next time, love yourself and love others. We'll chat again soon. Bye for now.